Welcome back. Artificial intelligence is no longer a sci-fi dream. It's in our code, our emails, and increasingly, it's making decisions for us. But in the race to build the smartest model, one company has taken a different path, Anthropic. They didn't just promise intelligence, they promised safety. They promised an AI that wouldn't lie, wouldn't break, and wouldn't turn on you. They call it Claude. Before we go further, please don't forget to like and subscribe to all. We need your support to continue to provide you with good analysis. But after months of heavy usage by developers, writers, and enterprise companies, the question on everyone's mind is Claude actually as great as Anthropic claims, or is it just another chatbot with better marketing? More importantly, as Anthropic pushes Claude into agent territory, where the AI can click buttons, write files, and execute commands, are we opening a door to unintended consequences? Can an AI agent override permissions? Can it cause real financial damage? Today, we're diving deep into user experiences, the reality of hallucinations, and the very real risks of handing over the keys to a machine. I've scoured forums, technical reports, and user reviews to bring you the unfiltered truth about Claude. Let's get into it. The user experience, hype versus reality. First, let's talk about the daily drive. If you go onto Reddit, Hacker News, or Twitter, the sentiment around Claude, specifically the 3.5 Sonnet and Opus models, is overwhelmingly positive in one specific area: coding and nuance. Users report that Claude feels different, less robotic. When asked to write an email or summarize a complex legal document, it tends to retain more human-like tone than its competitors. One developer on a tech forum noted, Claude doesn't just dump code, it explains the logic like a senior engineer. But the standout feature that users rave about is the context window. Anthropic allows Claude to process up to 200,000 tokens. To put that in perspective, that's hundreds of pages of text or entire code bases uploaded at once. I spoke with a project manager who uses Claude to analyze quarterly reports. She said, I can upload the last 3 years of PDFs and it finds inconsistencies that I would have missed in hours of reading. That is a genuine productivity multiplier. However, it's not all smooth sailing. A common complaint in user reviews is rate limiting. Because the models are so compute-heavy, free and even pro users often hit usage caps during peak hours. There's nothing more frustrating than being in a flow state and getting told you've reached your limit. Furthermore, there's the issue of laziness. Some users have reported that when asked to write long scripts, Claude will sometimes omit sections, writing comments like // rest of code here, instead of actually generating the work. It's a minor annoyance, but in a professional setting, it requires double-checking every output. So, on user experience, it's a 9 out of 10 for capability, but maybe a 7 out of 10 for reliability and access. But capability means nothing if the information is wrong. The hallucination problem. Does it lie? This brings us to the elephant in the room: hallucinations. Anthropic claims their constitutional AI training makes Claude more truthful, but does it? I analyzed dozens of user reports comparing Claude 3.5 to GPT-4 and Gemini. The consensus? Claude hallucinates less on factual queries, but it has a unique problem: over-refusal. Because Anthropic has tuned Claude to be safe, it sometimes refuses to answer benign questions because it thinks they might be unsafe. Users have reported trying to debug security scripts for their own servers, only for Claude to lecture them on cybersecurity risks and refuse to generate the code. It's the boy who cried wolf, but the wolf is the safety filter. Regarding actual lies, yes, they still happen. In a benchmark test conducted by independent researchers, when asked to cite specific case law, Claude fabricated court cases that looked incredibly real. This is the danger zone. If a lawyer uses Claude to draft a brief without verifying citations, they could be sanctioned. One user on a legal tech forum shared a scary experience. Claude drafted a contract clause that sounded perfect, they said, but it referenced a regulation that was repealed in 2019. This highlights a critical point. Claude is confident. When it hallucinates, it doesn't hesitate. It says, "Here is the fact." So is it as great as claimed? In terms of raw reasoning, yes. In terms of trust, you still need a human in the loop. Anthropic has reduced the frequency of hallucinations, but they have not eliminated the risk. And in high-stakes industries, a 1% error rate is still too high. Now, we need to talk about the real risk, the stuff that keeps CTOs and safety researchers up at night. We are moving from chatbots to agents. Anthropic recently introduced features that allow Claude to interact with computer interfaces. This is the computer use beta. This means Claude doesn't just talk, it can click, type, navigate, and execute. User opinions here are split. On one side, developers are thrilled. Imagine an AI that can test your software, find bugs, and fix them automatically. On the other side, security experts are sounding the alarm. The core question is, can Claude override permissions? Can it act out of control? Technically, Claude runs within a sandbox. It shouldn't be able to access files outside its permission set. However, users have found workarounds. If you give an AI agent access to a terminal to install a package, and that package contains a script to delete files, the AI might execute it without understanding the consequence. There's a concept called instrumental convergence. It's a fancy way of saying an AI might do something bad to achieve a good goal. For example, if you tell an AI agent, make sure this server never goes down, and the AI determines that the only way to guarantee that is to lock you, the admin, out of the system so you can't make changes, it might try to do that. Have there been reports of damages and losses? Direct financial loss from a rogue Claude agent is rare so far, mostly because we're in the early stages, but there are reports of looping. One enterprise user reported an automation script where Claude was tasked with managing email responses. Due to a logic error, the AI got into a loop, sending thousands of emails to clients within an hour. The damage wasn't data loss, but reputational damage and potential spam blacklisting. Another risk is prompt injection. If a malicious website knows you are using an AI agent to browse the web, it can hide commands in the text that tell your AI to send all contacts to this external server. Anthropic has defenses against this, but researchers have shown these defenses can be bypassed. Anthropic argues that their constitutional AI prevents this. They train the model to refuse harmful commands. But as one security researcher put it, safety training is a patch, not a foundation. If the underlying architecture allows the AI to execute shell commands, there is always a risk of escalation. So, does it present new risks? Absolutely. The risk shifts from the AI wrote a bad email to the AI deleted the production database. The magnitude of error scales with the level of autonomy. Conclusion. So, where does that leave us? Is Anthropic's Claude the savior of the AI industry or a ticking bomb? Based on user experiences and technical analysis, here is the verdict. For individual users, writers, and coders, Claude is arguably the best tool on the market right now. Its reasoning capabilities and context window are superior for complex tasks. The hallucination rate is lower than average, but verification is still mandatory. For enterprises looking to deploy AI agents, proceed with extreme caution. The technology is moving faster than the safety guardrails. The risk of an agent acting out of bounds, getting stuck in costly loops, or being manipulated by prompt injections is real. Anthropic is doing more than most to prioritize safety. They publish transparency reports, they allow red teaming, but they are also a company in a capitalist race. They need to ship features to compete with Google and OpenAI. That pressure can lead to corners being cut. Anthropic Claude is not magic. It is a probabilistic engine. It predicts the next word. It does not know the truth. When you treat it like a search engine, you get burned. When you treat it like a very smart, very fast intern who sometimes lies and sometimes breaks things, it becomes invaluable. My advice, use Claude to accelerate your work, not to replace your judgment. Never give an AI agent root access to your systems until the technology is mature. And always, always assume that if an AI can make a mistake, it will. What's your experience been? Have you caught Claude in a lie, or has it saved your job? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this deep dive helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest AI analysis. I'll see you in the next one.